All right. Good morning, everyone. Meteorologist Mike Hurd for his forecast. We made it to a Thursday morning, and we like to kick things off with a little bit of humor. What goes up when the rain comes down? Think about that for a second. By the way, there's a little stars feature here on the bottom of the chat. Click on the stars thing, and you can send me a little gift there, little stars. So try that out. That's a new feature there on Facebook. Let's see. What is the answer to what goes up when the rain comes down? Of course, an umbrella. I know it's kids' jokes, but hey, a little bit of humor to get things going here as you wake up on your Thursday morning on August 27th. Made it to the last Thursday of the month of August, getting ready to head into September. So again, good morning, everyone. I'm meteorologist Mike Hurd for his forecast. I'm trying to create a chat window in here, so I need a few folks to chime in. Chime in on the chat in Facebook and on YouTube as well. If you could just post a little bit of hello, good morning, watching from so and so, that would be great. And I'm going to try and pop that in there on one of these camera shots here this morning and see if it works. I tried it last night at 5:30 and it didn't work very well, but we're going to try it again this morning, because eventually I want that interaction back and forth as we go through the morning show. All right, so here's your headlines for today. We do have showers and thunderstorms trying to move in this afternoon as a complex weather pattern continues to unfold ahead of approaching cold front. That cold front will be arriving by the time we get into the weekend. So breezy and warm today. There is a fire weather risk out today because of the temperatures reaching the 80s and lower 90s, lower humidity, and a few thunderstorms with gusty winds, and of course, lightning strikes out there this afternoon. We'll get into more details on that, on timing and location here momentarily. But it's a cooler weather pattern by the time we get into the weekend. And I did have a viewer yesterday say, create a camper's forecast on Thursday. And I did that. And I'll have a camper's forecast for you. Is it a go or no go? As we look at the forecast for this weekend. And we'll do that here at around 7 a.m. here early this morning. Hey, Peggy, thank you for chiming in there on the comments. Once I get a handful of comments in there, I'm going to try and add a layer here to my camera and see if there's chats in that window. So again, please leave a comment down there. I'm trying to test out this chat feature here in my software so you and I and everyone can see the chats going on in the comments on YouTube and on Facebook as well. So good morning, everyone. It is a very mild early morning out there here in southwest Montana. So let's take a look at our satellite imagery. And I need to run an update and see what this looks like this morning and make it full screen. And you can see there is a tiny bit of cloud cover out there, but there's not a lot of enhancement. This was the thunderstorm activity from last night that kind of blew through in 1 to 2 waves. But it did settle down nicely as it went into the overnight early this morning. But we got a lot of moisture sitting out there this morning, and that's going to add the chance for some scattered thunderstorms as we get into this afternoon. So be prepared for that. As you look at radar, again, there's a few little blips developing near Ravalli County. Again, that's just the beginning of some isolated thunderstorm activity. So it could be a fairly active weather day today, not just across southwest Montana, but across western, central, eastern areas of the state here as well. And again, it's probably looking pretty good for some good thunderstorm development. So I got a few folks chiming in here early this morning. So now is a good time to test this out. So bear with me for a second. I'm going to disappear. And I'm going to add, it says you can do this in Restream IO, but I have yet to get this to work. I don't know what happened there. What happened there? There we go. No, still not coming in there. I don't know why. I got to figure this out. So my goal is to eventually have this populate. I know there's a way to do it. I just got to figure it out. So I apologize. I just wanted to experiment there for a minute to see if that would work. All right, let's get back to business. Almanac. Yesterday was a fairly warm day for most of the region. Bozeman at Gallatin Field, or Bozeman Yellowstone Airport in Belgrade. I know it's very confusing. But this is the official data for Bozeman, but I like to classify this for Belgrade, and MSU has the official data for MSU. And that's another thing I'm going to try and fix. Excuse me. Rough voice this morning, y'all. I've got to take a little coffee here. This is one of the things I'm going to try and fix when I get better weather computing a system in house, and um, we'll get back into reporting hyper-local data for the Gallatin Valley, and that includes Bozeman, MSU. But right now, I don't have that capability. But right now, you can see the almanac for Belgrade. We hit a high of 89, 55 was the low, and again, those values were above average by about 8 to 10 degrees overall. And it was a fairly warm day yesterday. We had a trace of precipitation. We had one little isolated thunderstorm move in late into the afternoon. Butte, your almanac, 85 and 48 yesterday. Again, that's above average by about 6 to 8 degrees, and we had a trace of precipitation. Dillon, your almanac yesterday had a high of 87, 54 for low, and again, temperatures were above average by about 9, 10 degrees yesterday, and 1/100th of an inch of moisture being observed out at the airport. Helena hit 91 degrees yesterday. Again, that's a few degrees shy of the record of 97, but that was a good 10 degrees above average yesterday in the state capital, and 56 the overnight low, and it was a dry day. And Livingston, 92 was your high yesterday. Oh, that's horrible. 10 degrees above average. 52 was the overnight low. But if these numbers are way too hot, don't worry. There is a significant cooling trend coming up here in the next couple of days. So quick shout out, Peggy watching from Bozeman, Shelly watching from Twin, and Grant Nelson, my bud there in Butte with VMAX USA, tuning in here early this morning. We'll have some sponsor breaks here coming up in a minute, but first let's roll a cold open, and we're going to get back into temperatures and a little bit of forecast information and fire weather coming up here in just a moment.
Covering southwest Montana with the insight only 40 years of experience can provide. From the valley to the highlands, get the facts before you head out the door. Your first choice for weather is Mike Hurd's First Forecast with meteorologist Mike Hurd.
All right, good morning, everyone. Please chime in on the comments. I want to hear from YONU this morning. I want to know what you're doing, getting ready for work, getting the kids ready. Is the grade schools in session? I don't think they are. I know MSU and the colleges started yesterday for official classes, so things are kind of hectic around the Bozeman area with all the kids back in town. But that time of the year, time to get ready for school, and let me know if your kids are in school right now, and if you'd like a school bus forecast. I'm thinking about starting that in September to get the kiddos ready for their venture into school if they're either walking or taking the bus. But take a look at the Bridger Bowl camera here this morning. Got the sun coming up just barely out in the horizon there. So it's a beautiful view. There we go. Just updated. A little bit of high cloud cover, a little bit of smoke out there, but it's turning out to be a gorgeous Thursday morning with temperatures very, very mild here this morning. We are currently in the 40s, 50s, even some low 60s around southwest Montana. So those are 5 p.m. temps, Mike. Those aren't the right numbers. Sorry about that. I put these in here like 5 times and I missed some of them. Let me see if I can find it. There is another one. All right. Where are you? Bear with me. Oh, come on. Where is it? Well, I know it's there somewhere, but we'll get into that here in just a minute. But again, sorry. Let's get into some fire weather information. I found this interesting yesterday when I was digging through some data from the NRDC. Is that what it was? No. It was from, was it on here? No, it's not listed. But we had fires in the last 24 hours. In the state of Montana, it was 10. There are 12 active large fires in the state right now. And as of Sunday through Saturday, there were 112 fires last week. Wow. Across the state of Montana. And the number of fires year to date is closing in on almost 1,900 fires in the state of Montana so far this year. Total acres burned across the state of Montana is over 132,000 acres. I don't know how that falls into the most active fire seasons of history, but again, it's been a fairly active weather and fire season here this summer. And actually, this season, there is no more fire summer season. The season is 12 months out of the year for the entire state of Montana, which is unfortunate. So, again, chime in on the comments here. Let me know where you're watching from. Got a handful of you on here this morning. It's a little slow start for me, but we're trying to wake up. So, it is 6:10 a.m., and it's a good time to take a quick commercial break. Now, as we get into the rundown, let me see if I can pull that back up. Did I have my rundown in here? I know I made one. Well, I didn't put that in there either. We'll have a commercial break, and I'll try and regroup here. We'll be right back. Tell me what you got here, Grant.
This is our 5,000-pound pneumatic electric forklift. It has lead acid batteries that give you a full week's worth of work. It lifts up 16 and a half feet. It lifts 5,000 pounds. It has side shift where the carriage moves back and forth, and fork positioner where the forks can move back and forth.
That's great. And then you can tell people where they can come and get this.
Yeah. They can get this at VMAX USA at 4029 Wynn Avenue.
In Butte?
In Butte.
In Butte. Are you the only electric company in the region?
I am for heavy machinery. I'm actually one of maybe one in the whole country.
Wow.
That has electric heavy machinery. So.
Right. Well, it's great business for Butte.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. We're this is our national headquarters. We're building out a showroom so people can come and take a look at our machines.
Okay.
We're building out a national parts house for our machines so that if our dealers throughout the United States, if they need parts, they can order them here.
So tell me, you got more than just forklifts. What else do you have?
Yes, we have electric loaders. We've got electric skidsters, electric big loaders. We also sell scissor lifts, which are tracked or wheeled, that are all 100% electric. And then we're looking at bringing in electric excavators as well. That's never been seen before.
Well, that's great. Well, good luck with that, and thank you for sponsoring.
Yeah, you betcha. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Stop living under.
Sorry about that. I hit the button too early. We'll come back to the full sponsor ads here coming up in just a minute, but I want to dive in a little bit of information. It is 6:12 a.m. here on your Thursday morning, waking up to, again, a beautiful sunrise. And your day part forecast for today, it breaks down like this for the Bozeman area. Increasing clouds, and again, some isolated late afternoon thunderstorms. Not going to be storming all day long, but it's got late afternoon pop-up variety type thunderstorms are going to be dancing around the Gallatin Valley later this afternoon. Same for Butte. I got a lot of cloud cover in here as we build into the afternoon, but there will be some isolated thunderstorms mixed in here, probably between 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. But it's, again, they're coming in little waves, so it's not going to be storming all the time, but isolated thunderstorms are possible later today. But a lot of cloud cover and temperatures a little bit cooler because of that, but we'll be in the 70s to 80s in Dillon. And again, 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. is a good time for some of these pop-up thunderstorms to dance around the Dillon area later this afternoon. And West Yellowstone, your day planner, also has a slightly lower probability, but there could be a pop-up rumble there anywhere between 2 p.m. and 8 p.m. this afternoon. So watch for that if those storm clouds start building here later today. Let's take you to Ennis. And again, your weather pattern today does look a little stormy out there this afternoon, as you can see an isolated chance for some thunderstorms will be developing as we get into the afternoon. And that's just the pattern we find ourselves at right now. So again, as we wake up this morning, we got a little bit of cloud cover, a little bit of smoke and haze, and it is definitely a warm morning here across southwestern Montana with temperatures mainly in the 50s. There's even some mid to upper 60s. You know, once I find those temperatures, I have them embedded in here somewhere in my rundown. We'll take a look at that here coming up in just a little bit. But we'll take a wait a minute, what's this? Nope, that's 5 p.m. Okay, so I've got it in the rundown like 5 times, and I keep missing a few when I put it in there. But we're going to take a little promo break. And then I'm going to take a deep dive into the forecast models. And you want to pay attention to this because there's a lot going on in the weekend weather pattern. There's a lot of cool air. There's even a chance for some mountain snow as we get into probably Sunday morning, Sunday night, Monday morning, and even valleys in southwest Montana could fall down into the 30s for early morning lows by the time we get into early next week. So I got a lot of vital information to pass your way. And is it a go or no go for camping this weekend? We're going to take a look at that here coming up in just a minute. But let's take a quick promo break.
Good morning, Mike. I just wanted to give you a call and let you know that you've done a great job being given lemons and turning it into lemonade. Congrats on all your hard work, and I really appreciate all the support that you're getting as well.
I spent years relying on those generic weather apps, only to get caught in thunderstorm I never saw coming. Then I found Herd's First Forecast on Facebook. It's hyperlocal analysis, not a bot. Now I actually know what the conditions are before I leave. Just look it up.
Honey, I'm getting ready to go for a bike ride. I better check Herd's First Forecast. I don't want to get stuck in any lightning or thunder. Mike says it looks good. I'll be back in a couple hours.
When it comes to the weather in southwest Montana, I'm plain fussy. I won't watch anyone but meteorologist Mike Herd, period. Whether I'm checking his first forecast on Facebook or streaming it on YouTube on my TV, Mike's the only one I trust for real weather expert analysis.
Out for some fun this weekend?
Just for the rodeo, but I am worried about this crazy weather.
Seriously, how are you tracking the storms?
I am just watching the radar app on my phone. I follow Herd's First Forecast for all my local alerts. Mike provides hyper-local tracking that keeps me ahead of the weather. Go subscribe to his Facebook page.
That's right. Go subscribe to the Facebook page. All right. So I can't believe, I know I put them in here. One of these does have the right temperatures this morning, and I'm certainly trying to find, is it that one? Nope, not that one either. All right. Well, I'm going to give up on the current temperature thing, and let's move on to some forecasting. We have, again, a good active weather pattern setting up over the course of the next couple of days. So I got to move over a little bit. So starting with fire weather, and this is one of the areas that should improve greatly as we go through the next 48 to 72 hours. It's the wildfire smoke. Most of it's coming from Washington and Oregon, and there's a cooler weather pattern building there, and there will be some increasing moisture there as well. And that should settle some of those fires down, so there may not be quite as much smoke drifting over Idaho and Montana, but hopefully this will be improving as we get into the weekend. In fact, local fires should be settling down a little bit once we get into this cooler wet weather pattern heading into the weekend. So again, you can see there's a lot of potential moisture sitting here across the Pac Northwest into the northern and central Rockies. A little bit of monsoonal moisture sitting there, some Pacific moisture. There's a Pacific cold front sitting just off the northwest coast that eventually will be moving in by late week into the weekend. So as we look at the NBM, we call it the National Blended Model, and I want to make sure we have the current latest run. And there we go. So this is total precipitation potential as we go through the short-term weather pattern. So again, it does show a chance for some scattered showers, but it also shows an enhanced area of possible precipitation. We're talking maybe a quarter of an inch, half an inch, and in some cases more than that. And that's mainly down there around Yellowstone National Park, up around the Absaroka Beartooth Range, maybe down towards Big Sky, West Yellowstone. But even little pockets as you move up towards the Crazy Mountains, then back up in the northwest Montana along the Rocky Mountain front, there's a decent chance for some modified moisture. And this is some of the best moisture we've seen in a while. Now, the rest of southwest Montana may have a tenth of an inch, quarter of an inch, but still, that's some decent moisture as we head into the weekend and into early next week. So what's this one? Oh, yeah, snow forecast. This is the one I wanted everyone to pay attention to because it can happen, but it's rare. But there is the potential, as I get this to play out, for some mountain snow as we get into the end of the weekend. And again, it doesn't look very significant here on this model run, but up around Glacier National Park, down towards Yellowstone National Park, and for some of our higher mountain peaks around southwest Montana, there could be a little bit of snow. if we get above 9 or 8,000 feet. We're talking those high mountain peaks. But there could be some periodic snowflakes melting as they hit the ground in the mountains this weekend. So is that really a good pattern for camping? Probably not. But interesting when we take a look at the snowfall forecast again, not overbearing, but it does show that there is some potential for at least a little bit of mountain snow. So the SPC convective outlook for today, there is a marginal risk. Let's see if it's updated here for, that's right there. A marginal risk for a few strong to severe thunderstorms this afternoon. And that includes a large part of southwest Montana. So what does that mean? There might be 1, 2, 3 severe cells with possible damaging outflow wind gusts and or large damaging hail. But I think the greater threat here today is going to be significant lightning and gusty, strong, erratic winds with the potential for some new wildfire starts in the region. Hopefully some of these are packing some moisture, and we definitely will be tapping into some increasing moisture as we head into the weekend. So as you look at the future cast, and where are we here? I want to bump this up. Make sure you got the latest run, and you can see it does show quiet conditions this morning, but as we get into this afternoon, I'm going to rock this back and forth. You can see there will be some scattered thunderstorms. They kind of form, or they're what I call born over southwest Montana, and then boom, they blow up as they just get over towards the Bozeman, White Sulphur Springs, Great Falls area, and then they become a lot more intense as they head up into central, north central, northeastern areas of Montana later this afternoon into this evening. So there is a chance for some scattered thunderstorms over southwest Montana. Some could be strong, might be 1 or 2 severe cells. We'll keep an eye out for that later today. But as we jump into this evening, things settle down a little bit. And then Friday, it comes in a couple of waves. So we pick up a little system there. You can see as we get into Friday late morning, then Friday afternoon, we got these scattered hit and miss thunderstorms returning. And then by Saturday, we're definitely looking at this off and on pattern. We got a cold front moving through. I got an area of pressure driving through the area. So it's just going to be this off and on pattern with wave after wave. That's the cold front right there. As we get into Saturday. So that does bring a pretty good line of showers and thunderstorms as we get into Saturday afternoon, evening, into Sunday morning. And there'll be an area of low pressure spinning around in there, and that is going to create the cooler weather pattern, but it could also bring some of those wraparound bands of precipitation. We want to update this because this shows you the probability. We call it probability of precipitation of getting, oh, nope, I need that, of, let's see, 1/100th of an inch as we get into the end of the period. So that's 1/100th of an inch. So it's a 100% chance we're going to get at least 1/100th of an inch. All that dark red, that means a good solid 100% chance of picking up at least a little bit of moisture. Now, how about a 1/10 of an inch? Well, it does shrink a little bit, but it does show that there's a decent chance that a lot of us will get at least up to a 1/10 of an inch. How about a 1/4 of an inch to a 1/2 an inch? Well, that does shrink down a little bit. And anything over an inch, well, that does shrink down a little bit as well. But again, there's a high probability that we will be picking up some decent moisture. And this is the forecast map for Saturday. There's going to be a cold front moving in the morning. And again, ahead of that cold front, we get a lot of moisture getting pushed out ahead of it. And that does trigger some scattered showers, thunderstorms, general rain, and again, some high mountain snow possible Saturday evening into Sunday morning across southwestern Montana. So again, a nice little pattern change setting up this weekend. So consider that if you got some outdoor recreation plans. And I showed you this last night at 5:30. The 6 to 10 and 8 to 14 day outlook does show, again, cooler than normal temperatures pushing back in across western areas of Montana. And that's likely to continue going through the weekend, but even into most of next week. The 8 to 14 day forecast, as we get through that first week and a half of September, there will still likely be slightly cooler than normal temperatures here across southwestern Montana. How about precipitation? You can see there is a chance for above average precipitation in the Pacific Northwest, and that is huge. There's a lot of large out-of-control fires there in Oregon and Washington, and this is a great pattern to settle those fires down. And some of that spills over into west-northwest Montana, but there's a decent chance that we'll continue to see some off-and-on showers. And again, as I showed you a moment ago, there's a good chance that we could have a 1/10 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch, in some areas could even have up to or over a 1/2 an inch to an inch of precipitation. So as we look farther out, the 8 to 14 day outlook, again, still shows a slight risk for above average precipitation across a large part of Montana. So we're heading into September, early mid-September, and this looks like a great pattern as we get ready for fall here in southwest Montana. All right, so that was the deep dive into the forecast models, and I got a handful of you on here watching this morning. So please chime in, let me know where you're watching from, and of course, there's a new feature in Facebook here on the chat side. There's something called Send Stars to pin your comment here. I'm trying to get to 100 stars. So it's a new feature. So if you want to have fun with that, look for that down there in the bottom of the comment section. I think even if you tap into the comment section, it'll try and give you a star. So Tyler watching from Livingston says 47 here, and the coffee tastes good. Good. I'm going to taste a little coffee here as well after we take a quick promo break.
When it comes to the weather in southwest Montana, I'm plain fussy. I won't watch anyone but meteorologist Mike Hurd, period. Whether I'm checking his first forecast on Facebook or streaming it on YouTube on my TV, Mike's the only one I trust for real weather expert analysis.
Heading out for some fun this weekend?
Just for the rodeo, but I am worried about this crazy weather.
Seriously, how are you tracking the storms?
I am just watching the radar app on my phone. I follow Herd's first forecast for all my local alerts. Mike provides hyper-local tracking that keeps me ahead of the weather. Go subscribe to his Facebook page.
And just looking at comments here, Craig Deaton says, my poor tomatoes will never ripen with the extended period of cooler weather. Yeah, I'm sorry. May have to cover things up. Probably, maybe I'd cover things up if you're trying to keep them alive Sunday, Monday, and possibly Tuesday morning of next week. But I think the morning lows will moderate as we get into the middle part of next week. I'm not expecting below freezing temperatures for lower elevations, but it definitely will be a cooler weather pattern, probably dipping into the upper 30s, lower 40s in some areas. I think like around Butte, you could be in that mid 30 range, but to get around Elk Park, Wisdom, definitely down to or below freezing, as well as West Yellowstone for morning lows. And we definitely will be showing you that here in the extended forecast in just a few minutes as we get closer towards 6:30. So just cruising through some of the comments. Mary Jo watching from Manhattan, thank you. Tyler, morning from Livingston. Mary Jane, I think watching from Three Forks. Yeah, enjoying early morning coffee. Craig watching from Bozeman. Grant, my bud, in Butte. And let's see, Shelley's hello from Twin Bridges, and Peggy, good morning from Bozeman. So a nice bunch of comments there this morning. And again, there's a stars feature down there. If you would be so kind to tap a star and give me a little star, it gives me a little rating on my Facebook stuff that's in there. And there's a lot in there, trust me. And I'm trying to go through that and learn that as well on the business side. And I actually put out a couple of paid promos to promote some of my reels. And I'm getting some nasty comments back from people about leave me alone, it's bugging me. And like, oh God, what did I do? But anyway, that only runs through Sunday, so it's just a 5-day deal. All right, let's take another little quick break. We're going to talk about my studio here, and then we got a lot more information as far as weather forecasting, forecast for today, tonight, and the 7-day. That's all coming up here in just a moment. Well, hello, everyone. Meteorologist Mike Hurd, Hurd's First Forecast. I want you to get involved with my future plans. So I'm looking for your advice and your help. And here's the deal. I've got a tiny little bedroom here that I am going to turn into a little weather studio. Right now, all I have is this table that I use for the morning show. And I'll put a picture up there on how I'm doing that in the morning show. But again, I got a little bit of carpet down here. You can hear a little echo going on in here. The walls definitely need to be painted, but I mean, I need to soundproof it. I got blackout curtains here at the moment, a little bit of soundproofing, but I need a lot in here. I need a desk. I need better lighting. I need to soundproof it. I've got the power. I did invest in new power outlets. I got two 20 amp 12 gauge wire running into a couple of these outlets to handle computers and handle lighting. But this is the current setup. It's just an empty shell right now. And hopefully in the next couple of months, I can build this into an in-home weather studio as I get computers and lights and microphones, cameras, etc. I guess the big thing I need to get right away is a desk. And I think that desk is going to go against this wall, have the ability to look out in outside if I wanted to. I've never had a window in the office before, but again, I'm going to put a desk. I would like something that would telescope up and down where I can stand on it if I want to. I want to put probably a big screen up against this wall, maybe a little screen up against this wall, and again, have some improved ability to forecast weather from home and do it as the digital broadcast meteorologist. So get involved, leave comments down there. Let me know what you think, what I should get. Give me some advice on where to go and where to purchase this kind of stuff. And we'll build this together, you and I, and we'll have a great experience coming up in a couple of months. All right, guys, that's a quick video here. I want to thank you for being a supporter of Herd's First Forecast. All right, good morning, everyone. Meteorologist Mike Hurd, Herd's First Forecast again. A little promo there showing you my future plans. So I get out of the living room and get into the spare bedroom there and create my own weather studio. Had a lot of people reach out telling me, look here, look there, look for this, and you can find desks here and again, some soundproofing in certain locations, and that was great. I even had a viewer, I think it was Craig, send me an email saying he's got some technical abilities, which is great because that kind of stuff I don't really know a lot about. I've got 1 gig up and down speed coming into the house, and now I just got to figure out a way to get it from the wall into some kind of a router to hook up my computers and that kind of thing. So I'm trying to figure that part of the puzzle out, and I should have that figured out here relatively soon. I got to move it from one room to another room so I don't have to stretch out a bunch of cables around the house. But Ann says, good morning. Glad to see your forecast. Thank you, Ann. Just tell me where you're from. I just would love to hear where people are from across Southwest Montana. I love hearing from the smaller communities, especially into Southwest Montana and outside of Southwest Montana as well. Be getting comments from folks out there in Central and Eastern Montana periodically as they tune into Herd's First Forecast, because it's a digital forecast. It's not tied to any broadcast television network. So again, my reach is far and wide, and I love that. So send stars. There's stars featured down there, and I would greatly appreciate trying to get to 100 stars by the end of the week. All right, back into the weather. Again, water vapor does show an incredible amount of potential storm energy as we get through the next several days. So there is a high probability that we'll continue to see a chance for some scattered showers and thunderstorms. As we look at the approaching upper level trough and low pressure system, it's still stalled there for a better part of today into tomorrow, as you can see. But there's definitely some increasing potential for a cold front and an area low pressure that will be spinning in by the time we get into Saturday and into Sunday. So get ready for a little taste of fall as this system starts to move in over the Pacific Northwest and eventually migrating into portions of southwestern Montana. Quick look at what radar could look like. Let me update this. Do that. You can see some of the scattered showers and thunderstorms. I believe this was past radar. So it was fairly quiet overnight, not much to show there. But this is a future cast. And this is what you need to pay attention to. And I don't need that, so let's get rid of that feature. I want to update. Okay, so the futurecast breaks down this way as we get into, all right, it all disappeared this afternoon. Again, it starts off late morning, early afternoon. We get these scattered little isolated thunderstorms moving into the region. And then as it gets just outside of our area, we get some slightly stronger cells building this afternoon into this evening. And then we pick up a much bigger wave here as we get into Friday and Saturday. So that's the approaching cold front, pushing a lot of that moisture back out ahead of it. And then eventually that cold front moves in by the time we get into Saturday morning. And that will bring a much higher probability of scattered thunderstorms across the region. So again, it's going to be a fairly active weather pattern going forward. So be prepared for that. So the forecast for today is similar to yesterday. Temperatures well above normal. We'll be in that mid upper 80, low 90 range by this afternoon. And variable clouds throughout the day, and then there's going to be these pop-up thunderstorms late in the afternoon. And again, some of these are going to bring some very strong outflow wind gusts. Some of these are going to bring an incredible amount of lightning. Hopefully, we'll get some moisture out of them. But again, it's going to be fairly active. You got to keep an eye out for that later today into this evening. Tonight, early evening thunderstorms giving way to clearing, partly cloudy skies overnight. We'll see overnight lows again fall off into the 40s and 50s, which is fairly mild. All right, let's get into some 7-day outlooks. Let's start with Butte. Butte, your 7-day forecast again, isolated thunderstorms in the afternoon to early evening hours today and again tomorrow. But there will be a cold front, area low pressure. The best chance for moisture is going to be Saturday late morning, Saturday evening into Sunday morning, and then beginning to dissipate Sunday afternoon and evening and clearing out by Sunday night into Monday morning. And that's why I got you down there in the very chilly upper 30s as we get late weekend into early next week. But cooler highs and lows. And actually, these numbers are going to fall back closer to normal as we get into the middle part of next week. But it should be mostly on the dry side into Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. But there probably will be some patchy valley fog out there Monday and Tuesday mornings if we pick up a decent amount of moisture here throughout the weekend. And for Anaconda, again, isolated thunderstorms this afternoon, evening, a slight chance Friday afternoon and evening. But boy, by the time we get in the weekend, there's a pretty high probability Saturday afternoon, evening into Sunday morning, even Sunday afternoon. There's still a few lingering scattered showers dancing around the Anaconda area. Cooler down in the upper 30s by Monday morning, and then highs will be in the 70s as we get into Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. Let's jump over the divide and let's get into Belgrade. Isolated thunderstorms Thursday and Friday afternoon, but a better chance for scattered showers and thunderstorms off and on throughout the day, Saturday afternoon, evening into Sunday morning, and then a little bit of boom booms in the afternoon on Sunday. Then we cool down in the upper 30s with clearing skies by early Monday morning, and there could be some fog around Monday morning, so watch for that. That may slow your travels down just a hair heading into early next week, but we kind of climb back up in that upper 70 range by Tuesday, Wednesday, and those numbers are close to normal. Let's see what's next. Dillon. Isolated thunderstorms are popping up here over the course of the next couple of days, and a better chance for scattered showers and thunderstorms arriving Saturday afternoon, evening into Sunday morning, dissipating by Sunday evening. And again, down to about 39 degrees. That may change as we get closer towards the weekend in the early part of next week. But right now, we're targeting the upper 30s for you folks in Dillon by early Monday morning. West Yellowstone, here you go. We got a slight chance for thunderstorms today, but it does increase by Friday afternoon, off and on Saturday afternoon, evening into Sunday, and then clearing out. And we could fall down to around 30 degrees by early Monday morning. And look at the highs falling into the 60s this weekend. We'll be floating around 70 degrees for Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. But your early morning lows are definitely going to be trending colder as we head into the middle part of next week. Livingston, isolated thunderstorms, but look at the heat today, up to about 92 degrees. So isolated thunderstorms this afternoon, scattered thunderstorms Friday, a better chance for showers and thunderstorms Saturday into Sunday, and we'll be floating around 80 degrees into early next week, and I got you down there in the cool low 40s for early morning lows. Helena, your weather pattern, again, a chance for booms today, a few showers, but hitting 90 degrees this afternoon. And then we have a little break by Friday, and then we bring back an increasing chance for scattered showers, thunderstorms, cooler temperatures overall Saturday into Sunday, and back up to around 80 degrees as we look into early next week. Boulder, again, a chance for thunderstorms later this afternoon, Friday afternoon, better chance Saturday, Sunday. Mostly dry, 70s for next week, lows into the lower 40s. And Townsend, again, an off and on chance for some thunderstorms over the next 3 to 4 days, but the higher probability is Saturday afternoon, evening into Sunday morning, and then cool and dry as you head into the first half of next week. Virginia City looks very chilly this weekend. We'll be in the low to mid 60s for daytime highs and lows in the lower 40s. And an off and on chance for thunderstorms developing there as you get into the next 4 or 5 days. Same for Ennis. 88 today, that's pretty hot, but an afternoon thunderstorm, but an increasing chance for showers and thunderstorms Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening into Sunday, and that will dissipate in clearing with 38 degrees for forecast low by early Monday morning. Whitehall, your pattern, again, around 90 degrees today. We'll be in the low 80s tomorrow. We're going to shave you down into the low 70s by Sunday. And then we're back up in that upper 70 to low 80 range as you get into early next week. But again, everyone has a strong, solid chance for thunderstorm activity as we head into Friday afternoon, evening, and into Saturday afternoon and evening into Sunday. So again, high probability of picking up widespread showers and thunderstorms across the entire region. Well, there was supposed to be a forecast there and it went blank. So let's get back to here. I'm going to be right back here in just a bit. I'm going to sip a little coffee, take a little commercial break, and then we'll get back into more forecasts. I've got the microclimates coming up here in just a minute. Tell me what you got here, Grant.
This is our 5,000-pound pneumatic electric forklift. It has lead acid batteries that give you a full week's worth of work. It lifts up 16.5 feet. It lifts 5,000 pounds. It has side shift where the carriage moves back and forth, and fork positioner where the forks can move back and forth.
That's great. And you can tell people where they can come and get this.
Yeah. They can get this at VMAX USA at 4029 Wynn Avenue.
In Butte?
In Butte.
I know I put that in there. What I think I did is I actually grabbed the wrong image. So I'm going to go in and grab the right one. Hang on a sec. Because temperatures this morning are fairly mild across southwestern Montana. If I can find where I put it. I know I put it in here. Oh, you know what I did? I have, okay, so those are the right temperatures. I just labeled it wrong. It says 5 p.m. I meant to put 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. in there instead of, so it's got the wrong banner, but these are the correct temperatures. We're in the 40s and 50s right now, even mid-60s in Livingston. So again, ignore the 5 p.m. It's actually 6 a.m. temperatures here for southwest Montana. We're in the upper 40s in Deer Lodge, upper 40s in Dillon, and mid-50s there in the Ennis area. So it's a fairly mild start to the day across southwest Montana, and it's going to be fairly warm again today, and it's going to be a mild one into this evening, but there is definitely a much cooler weather pattern heading our way as we get into the weekend. So again, as you look at weather headlines, we have showers and thunderstorms this afternoon into this evening, breezy and warm, higher fire danger here this afternoon, so keep an eye out for potential new wildfires, but there's going to be a lot of lightning with some of these thunderstorms, and a lot of gusty, erratic outflow winds. So that's a bit of a fire weather concern. But again, cooler, wetter, and gusty winds headed our way into the weekend. And there's even a chance for some high mountain snow, as I showed you a few moments ago. And speaking of mountains, let's take you up to Bridger Bowl as we look at the sunrise here this morning. Again, just gorgeous out there across portions of southwest Montana. Great way to wake up. But we do expect to see some thunderstorms trying to rumble into the area a little later on for today. So again, right now, temperatures, ignored the 5 p.m. I forgot to change that. It's the 6 a.m. temperatures. We're in the 40s, 50s, and 60s right now across southwest Montana. All right, so this is what we all wanted to see. Well, I'm a few minutes early, so I'm going to come back on camera real quick and just, I want to do it at 6:45 because that's what we have on the rundown that I posted on Facebook. So folks that are watching here this morning again, please give me a thumbs up, a little love there. I love to see those little things floating around in the comments. And there's a stars feature down there at the very bottom. So it's kind of like a little tip, like a 99-cent tip or something like that. So there's a stars feature. So you tap on the stars and I get a little message. And I got, I don't know, 3 or 4 yesterday. I'm trying to get to 100, but I don't think I'll hit that here by the end of the week. And now I'm going to be doing a story, actually going to go interview some folks about why last winter was so warm and why we had kind of a snow drought across portions of southwest Montana. So I'm going to do a report on that. Probably we'll do the interview, film it, edit it, and get all that done over the weekend and have that report for you coming up by early next week. But I did find that story to be interesting. Kind of touches a nerve with some folks, but I'm trying to stay away from the political stuff, and I don't like to wade into all that nonsense because it's just ugly. But again, we're going to report on why. I actually did an interview with Explorer Big Sky yesterday about the upcoming winter season and ski season, and they're going to be doing a story on the forecast, trying to gauge the Old Farmer's Almanac compared to what actually the forecast is. And they're going to be doing that story here relatively soon. I don't know when that comes out, but I did do an interview with those folks with Explore Big Sky yesterday, and that was fun to do as well. I am trying to build a weather studio. So folks out there, if you're good at tech, I'm trying to figure out how to tap into my 1 gig internet so I can connect those to my computers. I'm sure it's pretty easy, but I've never done that part of the business before. So I'm not an engineer, so I'm looking for a little bit of help in that regard. If you know of how to do that, what I need to do, just hook me up or call me or send me an email or a message here, and I appreciate your help. Okay, 6:44, close enough. Now let's get into some microclimates. You ready? Starting with the Warden District. Today's forecast, again, pretty much a carbon copy of what we had yesterday. A slight chance for late afternoon to early evening thunderstorms. Highs today will be above average in the upper 80s. Lows tonight fall off into the low to mid 40s. Even a low 50 is possible overnight. Deer Lodge, here's your extended forecast. We have a chance for some scattered thunderstorms today. Slight chance Friday. Better chance with this cold front area low pressure throughout the weekend. So we got a cold front moving in, then an area low pressure Saturday afternoon, evening into Sunday morning, and a few showers lingering by Sunday afternoon, but clearing out, falling down into the mid 30s. That could change. We'll be updating those numbers as we get closer. But right now, I've got a low of around 35 degrees by Sunday morning, and then back up in the upper 70s by the time we get into Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. Moving into the Anaconda area, the Smelter Shadow, your forecast today staying above normal in the mid to upper 80s for most of you, although Georgetown Lake a little bit cooler at 78 degrees. And a few rumbles are possible this afternoon, evening, and into the early evening hours for tonight. Again, some of those will have strong outflow wind gusts and lots of lightning. Hopefully some moisture with that as well. So Anaconda, your extended forecast again has a pretty good chance for some thunderstorms this afternoon. Slight chance Friday afternoon, but this next storm system has a long reach, so it will bring a chance for scattered showers and thunderstorms your way Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening, and into Sunday. Should be gone by early Monday morning, but you could fall off into the upper 30s by Monday. Let's go over to the Mining Heritage in Butte. Your forecast is 84 today, 49 tonight. Scattered thunderstorms this afternoon into this evening. Up in Elk Park, around 80 degrees today. Boulder, 86. Walkerville, it could be around 80 today and around 49 for an overnight low. And get out towards Ramsey, a little closer to that mid-80 mark here this afternoon. But the extended forecast, a chance for thunderstorms this afternoon, a chance for thunderstorms Friday afternoon, but a high probability of scattered showers and thunderstorms with a cold front and area low pressure Saturday and into Saturday evening and Sunday. But down into the mid to upper 30s by early next week. In Boulder, you could be floating around that low 40 mark by Monday of next week. That may change. It could go colder. We'll have to watch for that. But you can certainly see some off and on showers today, some scattered thunderstorms Friday, increasing chance for showers and thunderstorms as you get into Saturday afternoon, evening, and into Sunday. Let's take a quick break. I'm going to sip of coffee, and we'll get into the areas east of the divide next.
When it comes to the weather in southwest Montana, I'm plain fussy. I won't watch anyone but meteorologist Mike Hurd, period. Whether I'm checking his first forecast on Facebook or streaming it on YouTube on my TV, Mike's the only one I trust for real weather expert analysis.
Heading out for some fun this weekend?
Just for the rodeo, but I am worried about this crazy weather.
Seriously, how are you tracking the storms?
I am just watching the radar app on my phone. I follow Herd's first forecast for all my local alerts. Mike provides hyper-local tracking that keeps me ahead of the weather. Go subscribe to his Facebook page.
All right, good morning, everyone. Amy's sending a message, checking in from Three Forks. Really like the wind forecast on your day planner. Oh, thank you. All right, let's move down to Beaverhead Country. We'll come back to Three Forks here in a moment. Beaverhead Country looks like this today. Scattered thunderstorms this afternoon. Winds could be gusting 30, 40, 50 miles per hour or stronger at times with some of the larger cells this afternoon. But we're trying to get into the low to mid 80s, which is a little bit above average for this time of the year. And again, overnight lows tonight will fall off into the 50s. How about your extended forecast, Dylan? Again, a slight chance for thunderstorm today, a slight chance Friday, higher probability of scattered showers and thunderstorms throughout the weekend. down in the upper 30s by the time we get into Monday of next week with clearing skies. Moving over to Gallatin Valley, your weather pattern today, hot. We'll be in that upper 80, almost low 90 range around Belgrade and Manhattan. Bozeman around 88 as well as Gateway. And again, increasing chance for some thunderstorms later this afternoon into this evening. And yeah, a little bit of activity. We got just a few thunderstorms late yesterday. They were fairly weak overall and brought just a little bit of precipitation. And that's probably what we'll see again today. But again, shooting for about 90 degrees this afternoon for Belgrade, but falling off into the low 70s by Sunday. That's optimistic. It could be a little bit cooler than that. And down around 39 degrees with clearing skies by Monday morning. Then we're back up to around 80 degrees by Tuesday and lows back up in the 40s. But a solid chance for showers and thunderstorms as you head into the weekend. Same for Bozeman, 88 today. Then we trim those temperatures back in the 60s and 70s this weekend into early next week. But a higher probability of some soaking moisture as we look into Saturday and Sunday. And again, a cold front, there could be some stronger thunderstorms. There could be a pinch of mountain snow around southwest Montana, so watch for that if you're heading into the backcountry. And the forecast for you folks out there in Three Forks, Raidersburg, Townsend, Townsend, could be floating around that upper 80, low 90 mark this afternoon, but just hinges on when the storm clouds begin to build and push through. But a little round of thunderstorm activity possible late in the day into the early evening hours. And that trend continues for Three Forks Friday. Scattered showers and thunderstorms with a cold front area low pressure as we get into Saturday and Sunday. And then down about 38 degrees for low by Monday morning. Highs back up around 80 degrees by Tuesday and into Wednesday. Townsend, your forecast holds in the upper 80, low 90 range today, around 80 tomorrow. Higher probability of showers and thunderstorms over the weekend, but mostly dry next week. And again, temperatures not nearly as warm. Let's see what's next. Big Hole region. Taking you into the viewing area around Wisdom, Jackson, up towards Wise River, Divide, Melrose, Glen. Again, low to mid 80s this afternoon. And overnight lows tonight mainly in the 40s and 50s. But again, a chance for some thunderstorms later this afternoon into this evening for your region. And in fact, Wisdom, chance for thunderstorms today, a little better chance for Friday afternoon, but a high probability of showers and thunderstorms as we look into Saturday and Sunday. You can see, and in fact, I've got 28 degrees, but the Weather Service had 20 degrees for low for Monday morning. I don't think it's going to get that cold, but again, it's going to be a frosty start early next week for you folks in the Wisdom area, even up towards Wise River. You get up at a little higher elevations, that's definitely going to be trimming below freezing by early next week. So let's take you into the Madison Valley and your forecast again. Looking pretty good for a better part of today, but there will be some increasing clouds and some thunderstorms developing. And again, a little bit of smoke lingering across the region. Highs in the 80s, lows in the 50s for tonight. And the extended forecast for Ennis, 88 today, 80 for your Friday, 70s over the weekend, kind of back up to around 80 degrees by early next week. But you could dip into the upper 30s by Monday morning. But it's really this cold front area low pressure that will drive some of these scattered showers and thunderstorms around throughout the weekend. So it looks like a rough weekend for outdoor activities here locally. Ruby Valley, your weather pattern will be in the low, mid, upper 80 range. Twin Bridges a little hotter than the rest of us. We'll be in the lower 50s for overnight lows. Again, there is a chance for some thunderstorms this afternoon and into this evening, and overnight lows will be in the 50s. How about Twin Bridges? Your extended forecast, again, a few thunderstorms for today, tomorrow, better chance Saturday into Sunday, and then down about 37 degrees for low by early Monday morning. How about Virginia City? And definitely much cooler on the high side. Lows down around 40 degrees, maybe even the upper 30s by Monday morning. But again, a solid chance for off and on isolated thunderstorms Thursday, Friday, but a high probability picking up showers and thunderstorms as we head into Saturday and Sunday.
Good morning, Mike. I just wanted to give you a call and let you know that you've done a great job being given lemons and turning it into lemonade. Congrats on all your hard work, and I really appreciate all the support that you're getting as well.
I spent years relying on those generic weather apps, only to get caught in thunderstorm I never saw coming. Then I found Herd's First Forecast on Facebook. It's hyperlocal analysis, not a bot. Now I actually know what the conditions are before I leave. Just look it up.
Honey, I'm getting ready to go for a bike ride. I better check Herd's First Forecast. I don't want to get stuck in any lightning or thunder. Mike says it looks good. I'll be back in a couple hours.
When it comes to the weather in southwest Montana, I'm plain fussy. I won't watch anyone but meteorologist Mike Hurd, period. Whether I'm checking his first forecast on Facebook or streaming it on YouTube on my TV, Mike's the only one I trust for real weather expert analysis.
Heading out for some fun this weekend?
Just for the rodeo, but I am worried about this crazy weather.
Seriously, how are you tracking the storms?
I am just watching the radar app on my phone. I follow Herd's first forecast for all my local alerts. Mike provides hyper-local tracking that keeps me ahead of the weather. Go subscribe to his Facebook page.
All right, good morning, everyone. Meteorologist Mike Hurd, Hurd's First Forecast. We're getting ready to wrap up the microclimates, and we're heading over towards Livingston in the Paradise Valley. Your pattern today holds in the upper 80s and lower 90s this afternoon. Hot, that's above normal. We'll be in the 50s overnight tonight, and again, a little on the hazy side. Watch for some gusty winds, and certainly some afternoon to early evening thunderstorms are possible. As you extend the forecast, again, the higher probability of wet weather is out there on Saturday and Sunday with cooler but drier conditions by early next week. Over towards the Tobacco Route, the little communities surrounding the Tobacco Route Mountains, Silver Star, Whitehall, Harrison, Pony, again, anywhere from about 80 to 90 degrees for today and 50s overnight tonight. Scattered thunderstorms are in the forecast here this afternoon into this evening, but it's not an all-day deal. And as you look at the extended forecast again, an isolated chance for rumbles as we get into Friday, and then some scattered showers and thunderstorms as we move into Saturday and into Sunday for you folks over there in Whitehall, but cooler but drier heading into early next week. Down into the Yellowstone Triangle, Belgrade to Island Park, to Old Faithful, West Yellowstone, upper 70s, low to mid 80s today. Late day thunderstorms are possible into the early evening hours. It's a low probability, but there could be a few rumbling around. But the extended forecast has a slight chance for thunderstorms Friday afternoon and a much higher probability of showers and thunderstorms and cool overall conditions as we head into the weekend. And in fact, West Yellowstone, you could be down below freezing as you get into Monday morning and around freezing into Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. And up towards Big Sky, again, a chance for some isolated thunderstorms the next day or two, but a higher probability of showers and thunderstorms and cooler overall weather as you head into Saturday and Sunday. And the weather pattern, again, does look a little cooler but drier heading into early next week. I don't want that. Did that show up? No. So there's something in there. No, there's something in there. Maybe I'm not making that expand correctly. Anyway, I'm trying to add, let me get rid of that. Comments. I'm trying to have comments on the side here. So I'm looking out at my phone at comments and trying to read the screen here. And it's a little distracting. So if you hear me kind of fumbling around, that's why. But I want to thank Tom Nordrum for giving me a star. That's fantastic. And trying to get to 100 stars. So Facebook offers this quirky little feature. If you want to send a little star, a little tip to someone and when they're doing a good job, just hit that star button down there at the bottom. So let's take a look at Big Sky this morning. Looks like a pretty decent little early morning here. Let me refresh this and do that. So that's the current look around Big Sky as the sunrise there. And looks like a beautiful start to the early morning. How about I-90 in the Bozeman-Belgrade area? Again, that looks fairly quiet. How about up in Elk Park? This was last night. Look how much smoke was up there last night in around the Elk Park area. But early this morning, it looks about the same. So how about Monida? Again, there was a lot of storm clouds out there. And looks like the early morning hours, we have a little bit of cloud cover, but not much. Norris Hill looks like a great early morning here as well. Out towards Georgetown Lake, just waking up to some high cloud cover and a little bit of smoke out there early this morning. And let's take you down into Yellowstone National Park. This is the north entrance. Fairly quiet out there right now, but looks good. And Yellowstone National Park in the west gate heading into Yellowstone National Park looks pretty decent here as well, as we got folks just beginning to migrate into the park. So let's wrap up with the lemonade forecast for today. Again, we're taking lemons and giving lemons and making lemonade. Highs today should be in the low 80s to low 90s. And again, a chance for thunderstorms across the board for pretty much everyone. And I had a request for a camping forecast for this weekend. So I broke it down to a go or no go. Because of the cool, wet, and windy weather building this weekend, if I had to decide to go camping or not, especially tent camping, it would be a no-go for me. I would not be heading out in the cool, wet, unsettled weather, especially with thunderstorms around, a lot of wind, and it just can be a miserable time to be in the backcountry. And in fact, there is a slight chance for high mountain snow as we get into Saturday evening, Saturday afternoon into Sunday morning. Now, that is a possibility. Yeah, so that's not the best camping weather for Southwest Montana. If I had an RV, I might go, but again, you're going to be spending a lot of time in the RV. So it's not the best weekend for outdoor recreating for Southwest Montana. Just want to give you a heads up for that and just be prepared for, again, some cool, wet weather conditions as we head into Saturday and Sunday. All right, guys, that is the morning show here on August 27th. It is 6:59. Trying to get this rundown thing figured out. I don't know if you could hear that. Backsliding door open. My wife let the dogs out. So good morning, everyone. I just finished my first cup of coffee, trying to get to the second, and I hope to see you tonight at 5:30. Tonight at 5:30 may or may not happen. I've got an interview at 4 o'clock, so I'm trying to squeeze that in and come back here and do a weather forecast. So if I don't make it, I apologize for that. And looking at the comments here, and let's see, Carol says, love the camping forecast. Yay for snow. Love that. Mary Jane says, love your camping report. Great job. All right, if there's anything special like that you guys need a forecast for or want more information, a special event, hook me up. Let's send me a digital message, send me an email, let me know, and I will greatly help you folks out there. And in fact, I had one viewer says, I'm going to the rodeo in Miles City the week before. I said, hey, let me send you a forecast. Made a graphic and gave her a very detailed forecast of what to expect on the way over towards Miles City for the PRCA rodeo. So that was kind of a fun thing to do. All right, 7:01 a.m. here, rambling on a little bit. That is this morning's show. I'm meteorologist Mike Hurd, again, trying to do the digital weather content. Got a little rough start here this morning, but I got a lot of great in-depth forecasting here, so rewatch this. It should live on YouTube and definitely on YouTube and on Facebook over the next several weeks, but YouTube will live there forever. So if you want to rewatch it, I suggest going to my YouTube channel. It'll be Meteorologist Mike Hurd is the YouTube channel to look for. And again, you can rewatch that there. Please like and subscribe. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, but also be a subscriber to Herd's First Forecast if you haven't done so. It's just $1.99 a month. That's all I'm asking for. Just a little something to help build the channel and recoup some of my lost income. I would greatly appreciate that. So have a good morning, everyone. I will see you hopefully tonight at 5:30. Looks a little questionable, but we'll try and get her done. Have a good day.